WWE 2013 year in review. This year was a monumental year. A big year, a lot of big moments. Was it good as 2012? We will see. We're going to start off with the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was headlined by our WWE Championship match between CM Punk and The Rock. And I love the build between Punk and The Rock. I like this Royal Rumble. This is one of my favorites. Punk and The Rock, they had a lot of animosity, they had a lot of charisma. You could believe both people. The Rock came back. He won the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble at Raw 1000. CM Punk gave him the GTS. The Rock came back on the first Raw 2013, confronted CM Punk. The Rock told Punk that he was, when you step in the ring with him, he's going one-on-one with the Great One. CM Punk said, when you fight him, you're boxing with God. You had CM Punk give Rock another GTS. He had the Rock bottom CM Punk. There was a pull-apart brawl. It was pretty cool to see. It was fun to watch. I was fully invested in it. And at the event, you had The Rock defeat CM Punk, become WWE Champion. First time in like 10 years. Also at the event, you had John Cena win the Royal Rumble, which I didn't expect. So we got John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Kind of a weird coincidence because they fought last year. So this leads to our major programs for WrestleMania. The night after the Royal Rumble, you have Brock Lesnar make his return. He attacks Vince McMahon. This makes Triple H come back, confront Brock Lesnar, and sets up a rematch for them at WrestleMania 29. You also have John Cena and The Rock begin their build. It was pretty cool. They had pretty cool moments. You had like the Go Home show before Raw. They had a Legends panel. You had The Rock and John Cena get into it. You had The Rock bottom Cena. They brought up quotes from famous athletes. Like, you had The Rock call out Lance Armstrong. You also had a CM Punk feud with The Undertaker. And this is an emotional build because Paul Bearer, The Undertaker's manager, just passed away. You had CM Punk coming out and mock Paul Bearer. This led to The Undertaker trying to get revenge on Punk at WrestleMania. You had Punk give The Undertaker a GTS. You have him mock one of the Druids. This was the better built field between them. Back to Rock and Cena. The Rock, he called out Lance Armstrong, saying that he was a piece of crap, and so are you, John Cena. So WrestleMania 29, you had Triple H beat Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker's streak remains intact against CM Punk. You had The Rock and John Cena go at it for a second time, twice in a lifetime. You had John Cena beat The Rock, become WWE Champion. You also had Alberto Del Rio defeat Jack Swagger. You had Ryback lose to Mark Henry in the Shield's first match as well. As far as the WrestleMania event itself, it was pretty good. I have a lot more issues with this one than 28. First you had Triple H defeat Brock Lesnar. Why? Brock Lesnar's first WrestleMania back in about 10 years. You have him lose to Triple H? Come on. Then you had John Cena beat The Rock. I expected it. Kind of wish The Rock won, but Cena won, go figure. Didn't really care, but, I knew it was going to happen anyway. Ryback lost to Mark Henry. Ryback's pretty much done at this point. They built him up so well last year until he lost to CM Punk. Now he loses his first match at WrestleMania. Kind of a shame to see where Ryback went. Now we kind of see WWE's plans for SummerSlam come unfold. Now after Mania, we see Dolph Ziggler cash in his Money Bank briefcase on Del Rio, wins the title. One of the best moments in 2013. You had John Cena do some feuds with Ryback. They didn't really care about that one, as he retained the title at Extreme Rules. You had Brock Lesnar and Triple H continue their feud to Extreme Rules, where Brock Lesnar won, and he beat Triple H. Therefore, Brock won the series 2-1. John Cena did a feud with Mark Henry. Mark Henry did a great fake retirement speech. He called out Cena. And when he called out Cena, he knows something bad's going to happen. That's what happened. He gave John Cena the world's strongest slam. They fought at Money in the Bank, and Cena retained. At Money in the Bank, yet Damon Sandow win the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcase. Randy Orton walked out with the WWE title briefcase. The event was also notable, featuring the return of RVD. He just came back from TNA. I was a big fan of TNA. I was a huge supporter of RVD. He came back. I hope they would do something with him, but they did very little with him. In the end of this year, where I started having some serious problems with WWE. So here comes SummerSlam. SummerSlam, you had Brock Lesnar and CM Punk start a feud. CM Punk turned babyface when Paul Heyman cost him Money in the Bank at Brock F5 the next night. So they fight in a street fight at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar wins. You had Bray Wyatt make his debut. He defeated Kane. RVD was on the pre-show. He defeated Dean Ambrose by disqualification for the U.S. title, so he did not win it. Daniel Bryan beat John Cena. John Cena chose him as his opponent for SummerSlam, and Daniel Bryan beat him. And after that, Triple H gave a pedigree to Daniel Bryan. And then Randy Orton came out, cashed in, he walks out champion. So SummerSlam, this was a pretty good event. But I have a lot of issues. First, RVD and Dean Ambrose. Now, why did you put RVD on the pre-show? Don't know why. I didn't like that. He should have fought John Cena at SummerSlam. Daniel Bryan, don't know why Cena chose him. He should have chose RVD. Or RVD should have won Money in the Bank. Should have won the Raw Money in the Bank briefcase or the SmackDown Money in the Bank briefcase. But no, they put him in the pre-show match with Dean Ambrose. Didn't win the title, so yeah. I was fine with Daniel Bryan and John Cena. I liked their match, I liked their build. But you brought in RVD for what reason? Just to do nothing? That's what happened. And after SummerSlam, this causes me to have a lot of issues with WWE. And what's led to my hatred towards them today. The aftermath. You see RVD, he takes on Alberto Del Rio for the world title. He wins the first match by DQ, so he didn't win the title. Then at Battleground, he loses the RVD. At Battleground, RVD loses to Del Rio. Del Rio retains the title until John Cena comes back at Hell in a Cell, takes the title from Del Rio. The match was boring. The feud was boring between RVD and Del Rio. RVD should have won and fought Cena Hell in a Cell. They did nothing with RVD, and that was a disappointment. One of my first major issues with WWE. My second issue was CM Punk. They did nothing with him for the rest of the year. They forced him out of the company. Had him do feuds with Ryback, The Shield, Wyatt family. After having a strong 2012 and a strong 2013, right after SummerSlam, they just didn't have anything for him. Daniel Bryan. Now, I like Daniel Bryan. I'm a fan of Daniel Bryan. But I don't see him as the face of the company like a lot of other people do. First, John Cena chose him as the opponent for SummerSlam. That's fine. I'm fine with that. He beats John Cena. I'm fine with that. Randy Orton cashed in. Triple H pedigreed him. And that created intrigue. I was fine with that. It was after Night of Champions, Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton, became a 2-time WWE champion. Also fine with that. But But night after night champions, the Authority was created between Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. They stripped Daniel Bryan of the title because of a fast count. And this was led to a match at Battleground. And at Battleground, the Big Show came in. He knocked out the referee. And he cost Bryan and Randy Orton their championship. So this led to Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton takes the title back from Daniel Bryan. Shawn Michaels cost Bryan his match by super kicking him in the face. And Randy Orton's once again champion. They buried Daniel Bryan for the rest of the year. He did feuds with Bray Wyatt and The Shield. You have the Big Show come in to this little Daniel Bryan movement, which became the Yes Movement. He tries to get some of the rub. At first he spoke out against the Authority. Stephanie McMahon said, "I'm not going to fire you. You just got to do what I tell you to do." And that's what happened. Big Show, he knocked out Ric Flair. He knocked out Dusty Rhodes. He even knocked out like Daniel Bryan. Then he knocked out the referee at Battleground. He got fired. He comes back. Knocks out Triple H. Wish there was a match between them at Hell in a Cell, but that didn't happen. He got a match with Randy Orton Survivor Series. They didn't really care for that. They didn't like Big Show getting fired and coming back. He was crying. It's like 2012 when John Laurinaitis fired him. They always do this to the Big Show. At some points, he does look serious, a threat, a monster. You can take seriously, but sometimes he's just a comedic clown. Sometimes he's just a crybaby. Which is exactly what it was here. Then at the end of the year, you have John Cena, Randy Orton. They unify both titles. Randy Orton walks out the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. This year was a solid year. The first half of it was very strong. The second half of it, not so much. RVD, they did nothing with him. They forced CM Punk out of the company. They buried Daniel Bryan for the rest of the year. They brought in a lot of supporting players for the Yes Movement. They didn't need to bring in. They didn't need to bring in the Authority or the Big Show or the Shield or Vince McMahon or John Cena. Just need to keep it a natural ride between Orton, Bryan, and Triple H. And they failed to do that. But overall, this was a solid year. Like The Rock and Cena, Brock and Triple H, Punk and Undertaker. CM Punk and Chris Jericho had a feud at Payback. Cena and Bryan. Solid year, 8 out of 10. I have a lot of issues with it this year, towards the end of it. And these issues will continue going into 2014. 2014 is one of the worst years I've ever seen from WWE. And that will be a part of our 2014 year in review.